Florida. Actually, it's a common sight throughout the southeastern United States. In North America, that's where you'll find it. In the southeast, you'll find it throughout Central America and down the west coast of South America, almost as far down as Argentina. After that, it gets a little too cold. It's a warm weather plant. It doesn't survive cold temperatures. Here in Florida, it gets cold, but I mean, our winter's not that long, so it can handle that. So North, Central, and South America, it's a New World plant, which means the name is wrong. It's not from Spain. It's called Spanish moss. Spanish means Spain. You won't find Spanish moss in Spain. It's not Spanish. One of the many bits of misinformation when it comes to Spanish moss. Kind of an enigmatic plant. Not a lot of people know what it is. They know what it is without really knowing what it is. So right off the bat, the name is wrong. Not Spanish, because you won't find it in Spain. The big myth about Spanish moss, the big story on Spanish moss, is that it kills trees. I hear that a lot. I have people all the time here on the truck ask me, why don't y'all pay someone to get rid of all that Spanish moss? It's going to kill your trees. It's like a weed. It's like a fungus. It's going to suck the moisture and the nutrients right out of your tree, suffocate your tree, and leave it dead. Well, it's not a weed, not a fungus, and not a moss. Moss is the green stuff growing on the north side of trees, or the green stuff carpeting the ground in wet areas like a swamp or a river, by a waterfall. That's moss. That is a bromeliad. Bromeliads are flowering plants, also called air plants, related to pineapples. As an air plant, it gets everything it needs from the sunlight and from the rain. And that's what flowering plants do. That's how they produce flowers. And it does produce flowers. Y'all probably can't see it. You may see it as we roll out. But there's some Spanish moss right here at the end of the vine. There's a couple of little flowers out there for the Spanish moss because it does produce flowers. So it doesn't use up the tree's moisture, doesn't use up the tree's nutrients, doesn't really depend on the tree for anything other than a place to hang from. That's it. Can it hurt a tree? Yeah, maybe. If too much Spanish moss forms on a branch, a thin enough branch, the branch may break under the weight, but it's not what the Spanish moss set out to do. And the tree doesn't die from a small broken branch. It'll probably just grow back. So, not Spanish, not a moss, not a weed, not a fungus, doesn't kill trees, and it produces flowers. Another fun fact about Spanish moss, or another myth buster, I guess, if I can use that term. I think that term's trademarked. I don't even know what you're saying. But another myth about Spanish moss is that it is it's something that happens to oak trees. It's something that attacks oak trees and something that kills oak trees. Well, that is an oak tree. So far, so good. But those are not oak trees in the orange grove that have Spanish moss growing on them.